Greetings from Podcastville. The church is brought to you by RidgeWallet.com. Listen, tremendous. The Ridge is a minimalist front pocket wallet that helps you reevaluate your everyday carry. Launched by a father and son team and funded by Kickstarter in 2013. The Ridge is a front pocket wallet designed to let you ditch your bulky wallet. It's slim, RFID blocking, and lifetime guaranteed. Do me a favor right now. Go to ridgewallet.com/church and use code CHURCH and get 10% off today. Today, I'm going to give you 10% off because I'm in the mood like that. Go to ridgewallet.com right now. Use code CHURCH. Number 2, the savages of the supplement world on it. The other day, I went up to Rogan's to do the podcast, and they gave me those coconut chocolate protein fucking little num-nums that they're out of. There's a reason why they're sold out. You know why? Let me tell you. They're fucking delicious. That's why. I've been living on the omega-14s on the road. I even take one on the plane with me on my sleep apnea plane. I replace whatever piece of shit snack they give me with an omega-14 fucking protein bar. Listen, I live on that alpha brain. I live on the shroom tech. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, you want to get your head together? Go to honor.com right now and press in. Church. Boom. And get the party started. They'll deliver it right to your house. 10% off on the arm. Just press church on the way out. Hey, you help me out. You help Honor out. You help everybody. All right? Kick this fucking muley.
And I said, I'm going to get you every inch of my love. And I said, now I finally know what that means. I never knew what that meant. And suddenly it came to me. I'm going to give you every inch of my love. I had no clue.
I'm going to give you dick till it comes out of your fucking eyeballs.
Oh, my God.
They were the most sexual innuendo band that you ever, everything. Their blues just makes you want to fuck. When you were a kid, this song made you want to fuck, and you had nobody to fuck. Nobody would fuck. You walk around frustrated. What fucking whole lot of love? Nobody wants to suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sucks Led Zeppelin's dick. Nobody wants to suck my dick.
And we're back.
Bas Rutten in the house.
Whoop, whoop. What's up, my friend?
Oh, always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
The mouthpiece is still working. I still use it. It's effective as fuck. We'll talk about that later. But now, about a month ago, I see something, people bleeding from the fucking head. You open up the Facebook and you see some guy bleeding and it's Bare-Knuckles, and I'm like, oh, we're going back to Charles Bronson.
Yeah, hard times, buddy.
I'm going, Jesus Christ. And all of a sudden, you and I speak on the phone, and you tell me you just got appointed the president of the, what is it?
WBKFF, the World Bare-Knuckle Fighting Federation.
And where are they out of?
It's Casper, Wyoming. We're located in Chicago, but Casper, Wyoming is right now, I believe, one of the only states that legalizes it. Bare-Knuckle.
So all the fights have to be in Casper.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're in Wyoming.
I've done comedy in Casper thousands of times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so anywhere in the state of Wyoming, you could bare-knuckle it.
That's it. And, I think, it's frowned upon, right? A lot of people, they think, there's going to be blood all the place and people CTE. But actually, I did a Google search because before I said yes to them, I said, give me a day. Let me think about this. And I started Googling, and I could not find a test that said otherwise. If you Google, is bare-knuckle boxing safer than boxing? Every test will say yes. And the reason is that, like Hard Times, we were just talking about Hard Times. You remember the bald guy who would catch all the punches on the forehead, right? He was leaning over the whole time. And that's what happens. You're going to break your hand. Like in the 1800s, when boxing was bare-knuckle in England, they realized that if somebody defended his title, then anybody broke his hand in the process, he couldn't defend his title for the next 6 months. So the promoter goes like, man, we got to figure something out. Now, we all know this with mixed martial arts. We went through this, but a lot of people still out there, they believe that the glove is invented to protect the head, but it's not. It's to protect the hand. That's why they invented it, because people broke their hands. What is bad about that is that normally bare-knuckle fighters, they hit about 40-50% of their power hitting the head because they do not want to break their hands. So they focus more on the body and they hit less hard to the head. So CTE-wise, it's actually safer than boxing. Boxing, you have a boxing glove, you can just hit as hard as you can. And trust me, if you hit bare-knuckle something and you with the boxing glove something, the power, the impact is going to be the same. Only with the glove, it's going to be much harder because you're not going to break your hand. Now, of course, it will penetrate more with a bare fist, but that on the face has nothing to do with it. Yes, you're going to get lacerations. That's a thing we're going to have a problem with, but that's about it. We have plastic surgeons. We didn't have normal doctors. We didn't take normal doctors. We have plastic surgeons at the event, 2 of them. So if somebody gets cut, we have plastic surgeons to stitch them up and make sure that it almost doesn't show.
Oh my God, I'm starting to faint just listening to you.
It's crazy, right?
What do you think as a fighter? Like, if you were still fighting, would that be something you'd be like? That sounds like
100%.
terrifying. Okay,
100%. I truly believe, because I just did another interview and they said, you think, this is more like the guys in MMA who didn't fight for a long time and they want to come back now and they want to do bare-knuckle boxing. And I said, well, if bare-knuckle boxing would have been there at the time when MMA started, I think a lot of those guys would have actually chosen
No takedowns?
bare-knuckle boxing. No takedowns, no nothing. You can clinch, though. You can hold and you can uppercut, almost like dirty boxing. You can do that as well. So, once we get over that hurdle, once people see it, once you start watching bare-knuckle boxing in England, it's huge in England right now. And actually, Julian Lane, I want to bang that guy, from The Ultimate Fighter. He went to England. He beat the bare-knuckle champion there, who was 18 fights undefeated. And we have him on the card as well. So I'm super stoked about this card. It's going to be great. And I think we're going to see fighters using different strategies. It's different than MMA. It's a different distance than MMA. The punches penetrate easier because there's no gloves. MMA is tiny gloves. It also penetrates easier. But boxing, of course, bigger gloves and Thai boxing. You see, so it's harder to penetrate. Now, every punch is probably going to slip through. But you're going to have to pick your shots. Because if you punch me and I just lean over and you hit the top of my head, it's night-night to the hand. You're going to break your hand. And that's why they go 40% to the head.
It's funny, when we started the conversation, this is why I love you to death, because right away you started with CTE.
Yep.
Right away that seemed like that was your biggest concern. You didn't look at money. You really cared about...
I don't want to do something that I'm going to feel bad about later in life. If I thought, what if some people start dying? And, because the first thing, and I already knew this. Somebody told me, no, Bas, it's actually safer than boxing. But, you hear that, but you don't really know. So that's why I said, let me Google a little bit. Let me play around with this tonight and let's see what happens. And then you find out that it is indeed better than CTE. CTE wise, better for the fighter, for the boxer in this case.
And it's same. It's like there's a ref in the ring during the whole.
Everything is very classy. We're gonna have a very classy show. We have the ring girls with nightgowns. We got Jimmy Lennon Jr. is the ring announcer. We got Kenny Rice is back with me. We got a whole really great team. We have Frank Belmonte who did the Pac-Man Mayweather show. I mean, we have the production top notch.
And is it only live or can I watch it online or TV or something?
Well, we're gonna start online on Fight TV. That's for the prelims fights. We have 4 of them. 5 maybe, because how it goes before the fight. Everybody's sick and he didn't approve, and it's a freaking nightmare. Now I know what it really is. It's a lot of work. But then after that, when people see the production and they say, "Hey man, wow, I would love to check it." $29.95. We kept it very cheap. Also, if you want to do the high definition, of course, like $10 more, I believe.
Okay, cool.
So now, what are the rules for this now? How many rounds?
There's 5 rounds of 2 minutes, which you can play around with. Once you do a title fight, you can increase the rounds if you want.
2 minutes per round.
2 minutes per round, 5 rounds. I think for an MMA fighter, we have a lot of MMA fighters. We also have a few pro boxers, a woman pro boxer and a guy pro boxer also. The guy who fights Julian Lane actually is a pro boxer who wants to try it out. And now we finally can figure out if, all the boxers say, oh, we beat these MMA guys easy in boxing. Well, now's your chance. We got bare-knuckle boxing. Let's come over to our side and see if you actually can do that.
So you think that fighters will go to different strategies because of the hand? That's pretty brilliant that you thought all this out.
Yeah, no, but we just talked about that the movie Hard Times with Bronson. That's what the guy does. That's how everybody breaks their hand in that movie, and it's true. I told a story that I was sparring after 7 years. I didn't spar. I took one more fight in 2006, and I was sparring with a guy. And first he asked me, "Do you want to spar?" I said, "No, my reflexes are not back yet. I just started, 2 weeks ago." He says, "Oh, that's okay." I said, "Oh no, I'm not saying that for you, for me. I'm saying that for you, because normally when I give you a head kick and I see that you're not blocking, I can redirect the head kick and I'm not going to hit you. But now I don't have that reflex. It's been a long time ago, so let me get into it." He said, "No, I don't mind." I said, "Okay, then it's good. Then we'll fight." I said, "And don't throw that crazy overhand that you have." That's what I told him. And the first punch he threw was the crazy overhand right in my neck. So I stopped and I looked at him. I said, "Okay, you do that again, I'm going to hurt your hand." And he started laughing and we started boxing. And sure enough, he threw it again. The only thing that I did was lean over. He hit the top of my head. He was on the ground. Ooh. And that was with a boxing glove. He goes, "Oh my God!" I said, "I told you I'm going to hurt your hand." And that's what as a bouncer also. When I was a bouncer and guys, they talk to you, yeah, and they turn away. They're going to sucker punch. That was the moment I was waiting for, because if they turn away, if I see one movement, the only thing I would do is lean over because they hit the top of your head.
And they're not going to break the top of your head?
Oh, no. The bones in the hand, much tinier than the thick skull. Let's go.
God, okay.
Yeah.
Every time I'm around you, I learn something. Like I'm just fucking blown away right now. I shouldn't have smoked that pot. It's freaking me out. I didn't know this.
It's more
shit.
intense. And another great thing about it is distance. I always talk about distance, like with boxers, right? If you squeeze the whole time, you can't box, right? Because you're draining yourself. So what happens? You make a fist at the end of your punch. That's where you start squeezing, right? The last, let's say, this space, you start squeezing the hand. With this, if you lean over, so if the target is here, and you want to hit it, but the head is still relaxed here, and suddenly I lean over, I'm closing the distance. So not only you're going to hit my head, full power at the top of my head, but your hand is not fully squeezed yet, because you do that only at the end of your punch. So if I suddenly meet your fist halfway down by bringing my head forward, yeah, you're going to snap your hand for sure.
And what about the jaw? Like, is it only the top of the head? Like,
No. The jaw, that's good. You can hit the jaw, of
Okay.
course, yeah. But then people go like, but you can break the jaw. Yeah, okay. I believe so that it can break easier. I do believe that because it will be bone on bone. But come on, guys, have an MMA glove. And what about this? What Thai boxing? You can shin kick somebody in the face. You can knee him in the face. You can elbow him in the face. They're all unprotected. Much harder weapons than a punch. Right? A knee, a foot. I mean, it's longer on its way to travel. It's a heavier object, and it has more time to develop speed and power, and that's why it's way more. So shin kick from Crow Cop in the face, and you think that's healthy, right? And now you're talking about a little tender hand that's going to hit a skull. Come on, guys. The smart guys, they hit 40-50% to the head. Yeah.
you're allowed to knee someone in the face?
No. But I'm
Well,
saying...
not in yours, but in other sports, they're allowed to knee
in MMA you can do that.
in the face? I've never seen that. That's,
No, I have a really great knockout that I can show you that I drilled somebody's knee in the face. Literally grab him by the hair, and then I kneed him as hard as I could in the face. You see, but that's an unprotected knee. So people, that's allowed. A foot, a shin, a knee, and an elbow is allowed, but suddenly a hand is not allowed. You see, so if you start breaking it down, you're going to realize, hey, actually, he is right. And what I always say, don't believe me, just Google it. I can say, of course, because I'm the president of the company, people are going to go, yeah, of course he says that. Google it. See it yourself.
This CTE has become a big topic.
Yeah.
I saw this thing the other day on MMA Junkie about opioids in the UFC already.
Oh, it's so bad. It's everywhere.
And I started thinking about the NFL, how, for years you're a player, you got to do what you got to do, you're getting $6 million a year, and every year there's a new college All-American that's coming out that's challenging your job.
Yep.
And you play hurt, and you shoot pain pills, and you shoot pain fucking solvents, and,
Yep.
Then you see these guys years later, and they can't walk. Earl Campbell.
Yeah, you crumble your liver, you crumble everything. It's the worst stuff. You and I, we know this, I had after my last fight, all my injuries that I retired for in the very first place, I didn't fight for 7 years. I thought I was completely in the clear. Everything went perfect. I felt like a maniac. I mean, literally, in a month, everybody was telling me that I was training a dude. You got a new career. This is insane. I mean, you're flying through everything. I say, yeah, this is wild, right? And then boom, the first injury came back, and that came back, and that came back, and that came back, and then some, So I fought. I couldn't kick higher than low kicks because people said, because I stopped the guy with low kicks, they said, why didn't you kick him in the head? I said, I couldn't kick higher than a low kick because I tore my groin. I had a rip out. My knees, they were completely shot. I mean, everything that went wrong. I had tendonitis in both arms. I could only shadow box. I couldn't even hit a bag anymore with my arms. I was in so much pain. So it started there with a simple Norco. I remember taking 1.5 Norco on the day of the fight at 10 a.m. in the morning because it said, at least 8 hours you don't have to take anything because it can affect you mentally. And I figured, my fight's going to be around 9 o'clock. I'm the main event. Not the co-main, actually, I thought was. And then it's out of my system, But, I remember the next day, take it again. And after the fight, you were in pain and slowly. And then I remember a time that I wrote a number 9 with a pencil, my wife uses as makeup. I put it on the mirror. I remember putting on the left corner a number 9 because I took 9 pills a day and I was not going to pass 9 pills a day. Well, those 9 pills a day became 12 pills at one time. 4 times a day, 5 times a day. So now I'm taking 48 pills a day. Now the doctor says, dude, this is so bad for you. It's all the Tylenol you're taking because, okay, there's less Tylenol in a Norco than in a Vicodin, but it's still really bad. You're going to have to switch to OxyContin. Okay, doc, idiot that I am. And then an OxyContin. An OxyContin is that's pharmaceutical heroin. And then you realize, and I had this problem that I went to, I believe it was Ohio or something, and I measured all the pill out, and I had a 5-hour delay. I ran out of pills. And let me tell you, that's when I realized I'm addicted. You know, I was on the plane shaking, I couldn't eat, sweating, cold sweats, goosebumps all over the place. And I go, I got to kick this stuff. And then I start kicking it. Then I did it the wrong way I did it with the Suboxone. And Suboxone is kind of the rich man's methadone, right? That you get from the doctor. But what you should do officially, you should build that up for, you can use it 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, you should stop that. My doctor said, no, it's good. It still works for the pain. And you only can take less. So if you start with a whole pill, you can literally go to 3/4. You can go to a half. You can actually build off instead of going up all the time with the pain pill. So I figured, I believe the doctor and I do that. But then I was on for that for 3 years. And you should Google what happens to people who are on that for 3 years. Because once I start hearing it, I heard Dr. Drew was talking about it on the radio, and I go, what? And then I start Googling it. Finally, after 3 years, I start Googling what I'm taking. The idiot, and it's so bad. It got in my bones. It took me 11 days to kick that.
So you're supposed to take it for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, because if you wean it off for 2 weeks, you don't have any side effects.
And you took it for 3 years.
I did it for 3 years, so it gets into your bones, and it gets little double vision, sweating, heart rate is like 95 in bed. You can't pee, you can't go to the restroom, you can't, I wrote a whole list of side effects that it had, and I said, I got to stop this crap. So then finally I stopped it. I tried cold turkey, didn't work, because my daughter, I was 5 days in, I was like freaking out. It's really hard. Like people say that it's way harder to kick than actually OxyContin by itself. It's way harder to kick the Suboxone. So then my daughter had a party that weekend, and I said, okay, I'm going to have to take it again. Otherwise, there's no way I can help you. To my wife, he had 70 kids coming. So I took it again, felt good right away again. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to build it down. Literally go to a quarter, then a third from that quarter, and slowly but surely down. Then once every day, a little tiny crumb under your tongue. And then slowly, okay, then I stopped, and then 11 days. Those 11 days, dude, hell. You know what my testosterone level was? They've never seen anything. It was 5. So not 500. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The doctor showed it to another doctor, and they're both freaking out. They say, "What? How can you come out of bed? How do you get out of bed?" I said, I'm really tired. I don't want to go out of bed, but I have to. I just force myself, drinking coffee, and once I'm going, I'm going. He said, dude, women have 60. You have 5. Yeah, people don't go to work anymore. They stay in bed. It's amazing that you still come out of bed. How's your sex drive? I said, that's gone, And that's the moment that I stopped doing all that crap. And once that comes back, oh man, you're like freaking Superman. No, like I explained it like the bad guy. Michael Shannon, who played the bad guy from Krypton, right?
Right.
He came here and he took his helmet off, and then hear everything, all the people, all the sounds he heard, because he was not used to that. That's exactly when he came over that stuff. Like shades, I had to wear everything. This would be way too bright light for I was crazy. Your senses are so out of control because they're not stomped away
So
anymore.
what's the name of that?
Suboxone.
So how does it compare to like methadone?
It's the same stuff, It's
then you're in a bad neighborhood.
yeah. So it's just what they call the rich. That's how I heard on Dr. Drew. He says the rich man's methadone, and I go, what did he say? And then I came home, started Googling. That's when I realized I should have stopped in it with 2 weeks. So yeah, I have so many people who email me, and I have a whole piece now written out that I literally can copy and paste, because you do that 5 times, you go like, I should save this because more people are going to ask me the same question. So now I have it all written out that I only have to copy and paste, and right away if somebody has a problem, and now fortunately we have CBD, right? If you use good CBD with a little tiny bit, like 0.3% or 0.5% THC, it really helps you to calm down. Like a pain pill, if you take 3 pain pills a day, let's say, if you take CBD, you only have to take 1 because it will enhance it. So it's an easier way to build up. A lot of these facilities where you can detox are actually using CBD right now to bring it down. Marijuana as well, by the way.
It's funny because CBD does calm me down.
Yeah.
Somebody told me if you take an edible and it's out of control, I have emergency CBD in my drawer. Like in case you take an edible or something, the CBD calms you down.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
and
good.
I know at night for a fact that the nights that I put CBD under my tongue, it takes about an hour.
Yeah.
But I'll fall asleep really good.
It's nice to relax.
It just takes about an hour.
Yep.
You don't get high. I get the 1%.
You know what I do? I eat something. I take the CBD, I wait 10 minutes and just eat 1 or 2 slices of bread. And then it will go into your system right away. It's a better way of doing it because sometimes an edible can show up 2 hours later, right? But if you eat with it like 10 minutes later, it'll pretty much within 10, 15 minutes, it's on.
Yeah, I don't need edibles no more, but I like the CBD without it. They say you have to have a little bit of THC
To
in
activate it.
To activate
Yep.
it, for it to take it to where the pain is and stuff. So I get a small percentage now because I think it was starting to get me sick, the edibles.
Oh, I believe it. I can do edibles. If I do edibles, it affects me the next day. I literally use, but people don't believe it. I buy a vape pen. I can literally do 2.5 or 3 months with that. People go, there's no way. I literally go about 4 seconds. I put it, not even till it starts blinking, and I'm gone. And I'd only do it once a day. So, but if I would do it during the day, if I'm at a party or something and I don't want to drink, and I take a little a zip, just not to drink, and then at night I want to go to sleep, I need more. But if I don't do that, I only need one time a day, like 3 or 4 second drag. That's it. And I sleep perfect. I'm feeling great. No headache, no nothing. It's the best. All the pain is gone. It's really an amazing
You
product.
don't smoke weed no more.
No, I do. I do at night also. Like I take the flower, I do that. But also, very little amounts I do. For me, I only want to calm down, and I tell myself, you don't need to go out of control. Just calm yourself down and feel my legs. My legs, I have this great feeling, and some of my friends have it too, but most have not. Like it starts glowing. It's literally and it's such a good feeling. Like my legs hurt a lot. But at night, and I only do it once I'm in bed. So you won't see me walking around the house. And no, I lay in bed. That's when I take my little zip. I lay down, and literally, I think 25 minutes I'm out. Feeling great.
I'll never forget years ago. This had to be 10, 11 years ago when people were talking about the benefits of marijuana. I got a toothache over the holidays. I needed a root canal over the holidays, and nobody was open. And I didn't have Vicodin. I was taking pain pills, whatever the fuck, Advil. And one night the pain woke me up. And I go, let me see if this marijuana shit works. And I smoked a bunch of pot. I smoked a joint at like 3 in the morning.
You're sold.
And it was so weird that I got so high and I started writing that I forgot about the pain.
Yep.
And I said, this really works. And now my wife is on the fence. After 18 years of being with her, she went to a kids' party Saturday night at the martial arts school.
Yeah.
She took Mercy to watch a movie over there. And the owner and the wife and a bunch of the moms went outside and went to smoke. And she told me, she goes, the guy smokes. And I go, come on, that guy's fucking straight as an arrow. She goes, no.
Bruce Lee smoked, man.
He was having pain. And he got off the pain pills and started smoking blunts. And his pain went away, so he's been smoking blunts at night. And so my wife is considering.
And she should be.
At night after Mercy falls asleep.
Listen, we know this, and your listeners probably know this as well. It's just labeled a drug because of alcohol came out at the time. Before the government labeled it as a drug, it has always been medicine. I have a priest that I know. I'm a Catholic, and he said, no, absolutely, you can use it if you use it for your pain. Yeah, if you all day long start smoking, lay on bed, you don't do anything non-productive. Yeah, you just don't live a productive life. They wouldn't be okay with that. But the God invented that plant for a reason, and it is to help people. But just the government, they realized, wait a minute, we got alcohol now, we can tax that. It's very hard to tax the weed though, because people can grow it themselves. Oh, let's make it a drug. And they labeled it a drug, and boom. It's funny, on the website now, on the government, all the things like gateway drug and all that stuff that they wrote, it's all off now. Because now the truth came out. Now they have to literally take that off because it's not true. You want to hear the gateway drug? Alcohol. Alcohol's the gateway drug. I know that all the crap, all the real bad stuff I did, and it's not never to other people, but to myself, right? It starts with alcohol because that lowers your level. You go, oh yeah, that's actually a smarter thing to do. I can do it right now, which you would never do.
We should do a survey. What'd you drink? What'd you do first? Smoke a joint or drink a bottle of Boone's Farm? And I guarantee it's 70-30.
Yeah.
70-30, because that's what I did. I drank Boone's Farm first. But I knew at the age of 3, 4, 5, I didn't like drinking. I drank a bottle of red wine when I was 3.
At the age of 3, 4, 5.
My mom owned a bar. So to put me to sleep, she dipped my fucking pacifier in blackberry brandy.
Oh, in Holland they did that with a sugar cube.
My mother was a savage when I was a kid.
Yeah, in Holland they put a little like that on a sugar cube and they gave it to the kid
So one
to go
day
to sleep.
I fucking I saw her drinking this red wine, Italian, and she put it on top of the refrigerator. And I don't remember this. I waited for her to go to sleep, and I drank the bottle of wine like Vito Corleone. She woke up 3 hours later. I was missing. She called the cops. The cops found me in the closet, shit, diarrhea, puke.
God.
Oh, yeah.
And I never drank again. So drinking was not on my agenda.
Well,
When I was like 7, I saw all these kids smoking. One night I borrowed a Now cigarette. Do you remember years ago there was cigarettes called Now?
now.
They came red, green, and whatever. I remember I took 2 hits of it. And in the bathroom in my house, there was like an ironing board in the bathroom and one of those things that you scrub with.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was making believe I was shitting. My mother was in the kitchen, and here I am smoking a cigarette in the bathroom like at 7. And I took 2 hits of the cigarette, and I started getting dizzy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And I put the cigarette on top of a piece of wood, and I left it there.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, who the fuck was smoking? I have no idea. I'm puking and shit. So I was away from all that.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did, even though I was exposed to marijuana, was drink.
Yeah.
I drank for a while, and they didn't agree with me.
Yeah, no, I have to. The drinking is, always. I'm a happy guy if I drink. So at least I have that, and I want to have fun with everybody. But it's just being drunk, running around the house. It's just not a good thing. And that thankfully I got out of my system really fast. Well, really fast. Well, people know all the stories, right? There's been a lot of crazy stories, but that was drinking. Fighting keeps you in line. That's the great thing about fighting. You do after a fight. You go 2-3 days crazy. And then you have to train again for the next fight. I mean, I fought in Japan from 93, let's say, to 97, 4 years. I fought like 30 fights. That's a lot of fights, You fight, first year I fought 8.
7 or 8?
Oh, yeah, no, I fought first year, 9 fights, I think, I had a really high schedule.
And that was MMA.
That was MMA, but at least it was in Pancrase, so we had the shoes with the shin protection, the open hand to the face and closed fist to the body, but, that it was just a great way for me to keep myself in check. It's very hard also for the fighters when they stop fighting because you don't have that high anymore. Like if you knock somebody out, it's like a hole in one, for golf, I assume. You're there, people go nuts. It's a feeling that you start really enjoying. And if that suddenly be taken away, you start trying to replace that with something. And most of the time with fighters, that's drugs or booze. Like Pat Miletich is very smart about it. He just picked another crazy thing up. He's chasing tornadoes. He says, because I know if I do not do that, it's probably going to be drinking or something like that, So he uses that to get that same high back. And with me at the time, I was drinking. That's why actually I took the last fight in 2006 because I was drinking pretty heavy. And I looked at my wife and said, you know what, I'm going to take the fight. Because if I take the fight, I can't drink anymore. I quit drinking. So that's what I did. And from that moment on, it was all good. Now I don't, I got a little out of hand like a couple of weeks ago. That was the first time I think I was drunk in over a year.
Bas Rutten.
Huh?
Every once in a while, my wife goes to bed. I don't even tell Lee. I don't tell nobody.
But now you're telling it on the radio.
Oh, yeah. My wife goes to bed some nights at 10 to 9. And I can't go to bed at 10 to 9.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
No.
That's who I am.
It's early. I get 10.
It's a nightmare. I'll be up at 4.
Yeah.
And I'll get high and make a meal. And then I'm back sleeping at 6 and I'll mix kickboxing. I won't wake up till 11. And it'll ruin my whole fucking day. So some nights I'll have those. They give me 30 of those anxiety pills.
Oh, right.
And I'll take them to the Comedy Store and I'll put them in my jean pocket. And if I sit in the back, I'm high and I start getting a little bit of anxiety, I pop it before I go on stage. That's my thing. I get really bad anxiety when I go to the Comedy Store. I don't know why. It's my home.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So as I'm walking up the stairs, I look, I make sure that I see oxygen. Like I have to see an opening.
Yeah.
Those days, like I don't freak out on planes.
Yeah.
And I've gone on planes on 2,000 edibles of THC.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the third hour, you're just fucking stoned. Like I've never freaked out. But I've never freaked out. Like I keep it under control. But there's some nights I come home, I take that anxiety pill at the Comedy Store, and it's a faggy anxiety pill. Because when my friends give me the Xanax sticks,
Yeah. Oh.
I ask them compared to that, and they're like, it's 6 of those.
Yeah.
Like 6 of those little ones is one of this whole Xanax.
Yeah.
So I pop one of those, and some nights I get home, and I don't really feel the anxiety pill, but I drink a half a Heineken.
Oh yeah, then it goes.
And I hit that pipe one time, and I sit at the desk and I put on Beautiful Ones by Prince, and I just go down the fucking foxhole of death. And I still remember one night, I drank the whole beer, like one shot. Like I thought it was Johnny Bananas, and I drank the whole beer. And I'll never forget that I had to walk into the bedroom feeling the wall. Like that's how drunk I get. Like I get fucking lit.
From one drink.
Oh, a couple of weeks ago on JetBlue, I thought it was Johnny Bananas and mint, and I got the red wine.
In the mint.
Red wine.
Oh yeah, red wine is very good for you.
I know, but I've never seen you drink wine.
I'm 55. I've been drinking more red wine lately. You
Oh
know.
my God.
Connoisseur.
No, and it's
So
not
fancy.
Really, no, this was the first red wine I've had in maybe a year.
Do you spin it and smell it? And
No, I just went on the menu and mint. They have a certain red wine.
Yeah,
I
it's
asked
nice.
her, and I drank the red wine. And
Probably
I
good.
fucking passed out.
That is so crazy.
Like I fucking passed out for an hour. But I don't like drinking on a plane because it dehydrates you. And if I worked out Saturday and I fly Sunday, now I'm going to be really sore.
Yep.
So I usually drink on the way outbound. Like I'll drink, but not all the time, not at all. And I fly mint as much as I can.
Yeah. It's nice.
As much as I can. I mean, I just went to West Palm Beach, but they fly to Fort Lauderdale mint. Got it. I'm going to New York Wednesday. Got it.
Got it.
To Kennedy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm addicted. We went to Boston. Got it.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, I love mint. There's nothing.
It's the
like-
best.
I get that single seat, and I live like a fucking doctor in there.
Yeah.
You could jerk off. You know that if you
If you
wanted to.
Well,
you
I
could
heard in
close
The
your
Hangover it's frowned upon, right? If you do that.
What's that?
In The Hangover, when he said
I was sitting
on the
there,
plane it's
the
frowned
one time
upon, but you can do it. He
the
said.
one day I was sitting there, I'm thinking, right now I could bang one up, and nobody would know. It was like 5 a.m. I got on there, and some hot chick, and I felt like asking, like I went back to my cocaine days. Like I would fly on coke, and I'd get freaky. I'd just sit next to a bitch, and how are you doing?
A dry mouth.
Oh, my
Freaking your
God.
hand is like squeezing.
But you gotta remember, I was flying from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
You know, in the 80s to now, flying has changed
Oh, yeah.
dramatically.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was more of a party.
Yeah.
People got on a plane, the back of the plane was
Could
allowed to smoke. So everybody who sat in the back was boozing big,
Yeah.
making noises, buy them a drink. Like I used to go on planes where I was part of a group. All of a sudden, I was part of a group.
We need a Virgin at that time. Remember, they have their own bar, Virgin, in first class.
I remember
We should have had that at that time. They had it?
when I was a kid, United had a bar in the middle of the plane.
Man.
Like if you were in coach, instead of that shitty bathroom, they had a bar with a
And a
bartender.
big bowl of Quaaludes.
No. And first class was stairs upstairs. First class was upstairs.
Yeah. You
And
have to
there
go
was
up.
an airline that went from Newark to LA and Newark to England. And the Newark to England flight, I know for a fact, they had a pig with an apple in its mouth in first class.
No way.
And a guy would play the piano. This is real shit. This is the old school flying. But I went on a plane in 87.
Cigars.
In 87, 86, I would go back east and I would pick up coke and bring it back to Colorado. And I would be fucked up, Bas Rutten.
Yeah.
And one day I went up to the middle, I did my bump. They like, beep, you could walk around the plane. And I shot right to the bartender. I went in that middle bathroom. I did a tremendous blast. I come out of the bathroom. I got the neck twitch, the whole thing. And at those days, I used to drink gin and tonic with a shot of Diaz. I was gone, 87. That's how I opened up. And give me a beer and keep them. I would be.
And were there families on these flights too?
Kids, everybody. You didn't give a fuck. They knew not to sit in the back.
That's what drugs do to
The
you.
back of the plane was drug dominated. People smoking cigarettes.
I can't imagine.
People drinking. You could see who was flying to Vegas with a hooker.
Oh.
She had her tits out. Flying was completely different. When I flew to San Francisco, I banged my wife right in the aisle.
What?
Yeah, I gave her a stab in her dick on honeymoon night. We were, in those days, planes weren't packed.
Did you put like a towel, a blanket over you?
Nothing.
Jesus.
She had a garter belt. I picked her up, Gave it to her right in the middle, like a savage.
There it
right
is.
hand. She
Yeah,
just
here we
bounced
are.
up and down like a pinball machine. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. But
Wow.
I go up to the middle of this bar. I'm coked out to the gills. And the bartender's got like a black towel. Like it's like a velvet thing. And he says to me, what can I get you?
The pieces fell out.
A Coke Rock fell.
The black
And
thing.
it fell, and me and him both looked at it. And I'll never forget, I looked at him, and I looked at the top of the plane, like the chip had painted off the plane. I don't know what's going on with that thing. And I just wiped it off. He knew I was coked.
You just took it and go like,
No, I didn't know.
Oh.
I made believe like I didn't know what it was.
yeah.
I made believe
You
like
looked
it
at something that came down.
plane.
Yeah.
It was just... It was
Different
crazy.
times.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
Were planes being like landed early all the time and people arrested for being
No.
drunk and stuff? No.
No, listen.
Like now people would go insane.
In 1984, in the heat of cocaine, an airline called People's Express decided that they were going to do something that nobody else was going to do. They were going to schedule a flight every hour on the hour from Newark for $49, but after midnight it was $29. That means that me and Bas Rutten could be in New York City at a bar talking shit as crazy as me and Bas Rutten were talking shit. And Bas would say to me, I got a cousin in Miami that gets ounces for $800. And I would look at Bas and say, Bas, I got 11 in my pocket. What do you got, Bas? Like, I got 4. Let's go to Miami and see your cousin. Call him up. And Bas would go to the payphone, put $3 of quarters in, because in those days you put a quarter in, dial the number, and then the quarter would come back out, and she'd say $2.85, and then you had to put quarters in. 35 more cents, please. 35 more cents, please.
Shut up.
35 more cents, please. Bink, and all of a sudden she shut the fuck up, and your phone call would go through, and you would call, and your cousin picked up. I'm home. Can you pick up that ounce? Sure. Well, when are you coming? Tomorrow, Tuesday? Right
Tonight,
now.
dude.
I'll be there in 4
I've been there
hours.
4 hours.
They didn't have you didn't have to call People's Express. You just showed up, and if they had room for you on the plane, you got on. And I'll never forget going down there one Friday night
It's like Southwest.
at like 4 a.m, and if there was 180 people on that plane, I swear to God, Bas Rutten, 160 of them were coked out. To the
Oh, I
gills.
believe it.
And we all got on that plane, and it just. Everybody was jawing because that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was like going to Atlantic City. It was an hour away.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow? I have to meet my mother. Fuck her. Come on. We're going to Miami. What do you mean?
$29.95.
Yeah, $29.95 one way.
Same price coming back?
Yeah.
Dude, and you know, if you come the same day back, you don't have the jet lag, nothing is bothering you. You can go, whoops. It's actually a really great idea.
This was a long, and they did they did Newark to LA for $69 and $79, and they did Newark to England. They banged you out on the plane. They charged you for the pillow. You got banged for the meal. You want soda? Oh, that's $1.50. That's how they got you.
Oh, their spirit. Okay.
But you pay with a credit card on the plane.
Yeah.
That's where I came in. You know what I'm saying? I'd go on there with somebody's credit card. I didn't even know the person. I'd go see Joe the baker up in the Bronx for a nickel credit card. And I'd just go on there and pay
For a
with the
nickel credit card.
Yeah, they wouldn't know till you were gone.
How much would those cost?
They didn't have no computer in those days.
Yeah.
So they put on a pad. So I'd be in there.
Yeah.
You want a
Right.
drink? Give them a drink. Give them all a drink. Give them the whole hour drink.
Yeah.
I'm smoking cigarettes, telling them in the mafia.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the check comes. They would charge you the $49 for the flight, and then anything else you took. The blanket, 3 beers, 6 sodas, the luncheonette kit, which was like 3 pieces of cheese, salami, and they would bang you out. And then by the time you got off the plane, you owed $300. You should have flown American.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could have taken American for $279 first class.
Yeah, but you had a good time.
But you had a good time.
Yeah. And there's no stress, no nothing. Nowadays, that's completely different, right?
No, they watch you on a plane now like a fucking hawk.
Yeah.
I don't see people having a good time on a plane. Coach is like you're flying to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Look at Coach. When you get up in Mint, look at Coach. It's like they're flying to Auschwitz.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's smiling. Everybody's got their head down, looking at something stupid. That plane could crash. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's in the aisle laughing.
Oh, and one tries to do to the first class. They try to go to the restroom. They get sent back.
They get sent back.
How bad is that?
Oh,
like,
my
just
God.
let them take a pee. No. Your restroom is there in the back.
I used to
That's insane.
before I flew in those days, I would take notebook paper, and I would make bindles. and I'd put like a quarter gram in like 6 or 7 bindles, and I'd eventually do 3 of them, but they were tips for the airline people. In those days, I would give cocaine out like a tip. Every time you can't use that bathroom. What do you mean? Oh, go ahead. I put a quarter gram in their pocket. That's a quarter gram when you land to get you to where you need to go to pick it up to the fucking load. That's a diamond in the rough. I used to, every time I got coke and I had like an ounce, I'd make like 6 or 7 little bindles to give away like fucking Bob
It's
Hope.
amazing you didn't get arrested. Like,
No, nobody arrested you. You knew who was doing
They were
blow.
looking for knives and guns.
Yeah.
They don't look for drugs.
no, but he's tipping people with cocaine.
When you put a bindle in somebody's hand, they gave you like a look, like how do you know? Like, like how the fuck do you know? It's quick.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
If I looked at you and you went, I knew you were out the night before. So right off the bat, I'll never forget. Look at that. I'll never forget being at a bar and the cops got surrounded, like we were in there fucking around, and they were looking for us. That was the day we threw a guy in a snowbank, and the cops came, and I'll never forget walking past the cops. Like I remember having like maybe like an 8 ball on me and telling my buddy, hurry up, give me a dollar bill, and putting like $50 worth of coke in a dollar bill. And when I walked out, the cops are yelling at me, get against the wall, but you're my friend, and you're a cop. And if I could get to him if I had to get to you with this 20 in my hand, because this was the juice that would make me get through. And I'll never forget the cops going, you, turn against the wall. And as I go to turn, I go, hey. And all of a sudden, he just took me and goes, he's all right. He's my nephew. Let those 3 go. Everybody knew. That was a tipping. That was Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my Bitcoin.
That was your Bitcoin.
That was my Bitcoin, coke coin. You put a 20 in a bindle for somebody, you made their fucking day, dog.
Wow.
You made their day. Anytime I got a little bit of a shipment, anything like an ounce or something, I'd always give it a couple packages. And people would, I had a guy, Alki, guy that sold sneakers at Levy's Sporting Goods. I had every pair of sneakers when I was a kid. I would walk in there at 5 with a rock the size of your head and give it to him. He'd been drinking doubles all day. He was one of those guys that got to the Sporting Goods at 10, and the whole day he'd be sipping fucking, I forget what his name is. God bless his soul. He died years ago. He was like 50 at the time in 1982. I would drop a gram off on him and go back hours later, and he'd be taking care of customers all fucked up. All fucked up. Like his jaw would be going.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Dry mouth. Oh, so funny. You can tell.
Yeah, I tipped so many people with cocaine in those days, Lee. It was funny. People loved it. When you gave somebody a little rock of coke, or I would get the bottles and take half of it out and leave half of it in there. It was just like 3/10 of a gram. You give that to somebody with a little spoon on it, they'll suck your dick.
They said actors, it was just common that they went to their trailer and there would be coke for them, for the actors, right? Like the movie company would literally just arrange that there is coke. If you hear the stories from the 70s with these people, all these actors, what they were doing, it's insanity.
I heard in Miami that they were doing it at restaurants. I could look you in the face and lie to you and tell you I never saw that in my life.
Yeah.
I saw it in 84, years later in New York City at clubs. It was wide open. So if we were at the Comedy Store and we were in the main room, we'd be in a booth. There would be a mirror somewhere with coke on it in that booth. And nobody, it was accepted.
Yeah.
That was it. But it's a club.
Yeah.
It's a dance club. You know what I'm saying? It's people dancing, or everybody knew to go to the ladies' bathroom and snorting there. But I never went to a restaurant where I heard stories where the wait staff would bring it for you. I never saw that.
No, I never saw that either. Yeah. It was crazy times, though.
And you started doing drugs in Holland.
In Holland, yeah, all the way back. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And everybody
Drugs
goes through
all
that.
the way out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think a lot of these guys, you go through it, and then I think that the way we did it, if you do it when you're young, and then you realize, okay, you find out it's not good. It's always better. I say that I have friends of mine, and I knew some guys who didn't do anything until they were 45, and they drink a glass of wine or something suddenly, and they really enjoy it. And since they never had the bad experience, boom, they're hooked to it. And it's the same with coke or pain pills or whatever it is. They would get addicted. I said, we're at an age, we did everything, but it's past. We know it's not going to go anywhere. You're standing a little bit stronger in your feet. That's what I think. I think it's okay to experiment. There's some things I never did, like acid I would never do. And would
I had some good acid.
Oh yeah, but
man.
I'm afraid I'm the guy who the worms start growing out of his arms, and I'm going to stab him out with a knife. You know, like I think I'm going to fly. I can fly. By the way, I never got that. You know, why don't they try it out first on the spot if they can fly? You know, and then jump off the building, right? Yeah, you go like, let me. No, it's not working. Maybe I shouldn't do this because it's not working. You know, but yeah, though crazy times. It was just. But with me, normally it was. Pretty much for a long time, alcohol. That was my choice of thing. Never weed, because in Holland, it's always been legal, to my knowledge, when I was there. But it slowed me down, and I'm always this upper kind of guy. That's why I'm only doing it, you know, to go to sleep. Or if I go to a party and there's a lot of drinking going on, and I want to eat, and I say I'll take a little sip, and then I'm feeling perfect. I'm nice and relaxed. I can still formulate sentences, because if I'm stoned, I can't. That's why I don't want to do it during the day, and it affects my memory. You know, so if you have to memorize pieces and things like that, there's no way I can do it. I have other friends of mine who excel when they use it. They actually get better, and they can memorize better, and they do everything better. With me, it's the opposite. So that's, you know, for me, it's good that it happened like that, because it keeps me in line, so to say.
For me, I cannot think of myself not smoking. It is the last of my teddy bears.
Yep.
Okay, everybody has a teddy bear.
Yep.
It is the last thing from that life that I have left. I enjoy it. It calms me down. I like getting high at night when I get back from the comedy store with different, like I have to buy 2 types of weed.
Yeah.
Like I'll smoke this all day, but then at night when I get home, I'll smoke this. And no, they're both indicas. I'm an indica type of dude.
Me too. I only indica.
So I'll smoke that at night to take that comedy edge off.
Yeah.
That won't keep you up till 2 in the morning. I get a notebook out, I put music on, and I'm writing as I'm listening to my set, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just to slow me down.
Yep.
Marijuana has always slowed me down. I would never, I don't want to do Adderall, nor do I have any desire to do it.
Yep, me neither.
I don't ever want to speed up.
No.
I always wanted something to slow me down. When I wake up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee. I look at my early morning emails. I talk to my daughter. I talk to my wife. And then there's a point in time where I know I have to eat. I have no appetite. So I go in the back and I zipped.
Yep.
And boom, the appetite opens up. Now you could eat. I don't have to eat like a gorilla. I could eat 2 eggs and a piece of wheat toast, and I'm done.
Yep.
But that gets that appetite going.
Mm-hmm.
I want that appetite in the morning. Without that appetite, my blood sugar drops in the afternoon, and I'll eat much later at night. Now my hunger will triple. So if I eat early, like I can't do intermittent fasting.
Yeah. No, I'm really
I gotta
good
eat
with
when
that
I get
kind
up
of
in the
stuff.
morning, because if not, it catches up to me, and I eat triple at night. You know.
Well, it's a good thing to be there on that. Like everything else, if you would have kept on drinking, you probably wouldn't have been here anymore. If you kept doing all the other crap, you probably wouldn't have been there anymore. It's literally weed that saved your life, pretty much.
I like it. It keeps me. Listen. The thought of saying the word sober would drive me crazy, and it drives a lot of people crazy. That's why the volume of relapsing that there is. After relapsing several times, you'll realize I don't like the word sober, and I don't like the word diet.
Yeah.
Those 2 words kill people.
Yeah.
Those 2 words kill people. I like the word lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is the lifestyle that I could lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at it, it takes pressure off your mind without you thinking on it. I am not on a diet. I just have to acknowledge that I have to eat a little better.
Yep.
Yeah, you could go to fucking, what's the sandwich place?
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's, and you could have a turkey and provolone for 6 points.
Yep.
You don't need the chips.
Yep.
You know, you can put mayonnaise on it. It's not going to kill you.
Yep.
You just don't need the chips. Control yourself and not eating the chips, and drink a Diet Coke because you're out.
Yep.
But the rest of the time, it's water. You know, little things. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Once you kill yourself with that word diet, you're done. I do not want you to be sober. I want you to be happy. Those are 2 different fucking words. If I need you for 90 days to walk around with a frown, and every time I drive past Lancashire, I see black people and I want to do crack. Listen, you're killing yourself to live.
Yeah.
Cut a deal with yourself. In 95, I cut a bad deal with myself. I cut a deal with myself that I was going to go all in on comedy. I was going to dedicate myself to comedy, but at the same time, I wasn't going to keep fighting this cocaine war.
Yeah.
If I do it, I do it. No more doing it and beating myself up and lying to myself that this is the last time.
Yeah, no, don't.
Boss, I'm happy you're here. This is the last time. I'm never going to do this shit. It's fucking poison. And 2 hours later, because I heard that broken record.
Yeah, but then you hit yourself in the face. You're breaking your promise the whole time. And
it was a broken record from myself to other people. So I said, forget it. I'm accepting this problem that I have. I accept it. I don't want to go overboard. I knew that I could get one package and go to bed at night and jerk off till I passed out and maybe do a Xanax and fall asleep. I was hip with that. I really was. I was because I knew if I looked at it like I'm trying to get sober, I would have never done it.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. I think that's, I hate the word sober and I hate the word diet.
Yeah, that's what it did to me. So you don't drink anymore. I said, no, I would never say that. Because
you know what? When I go to eat breakfast, just don't get the potatoes.
Yeah.
Eat the bread, put a little tiny butter on the bread, eat the 2 eggs, and eat 2 pieces of bacon. Just don't eat the potatoes.
You see, I ate an enormous amount of potatoes like during the day.
I love them too.
I'm taking, but I blend them because I take so much with vegetables. I put it in a blender like a pan, and I literally drink it. And the meat or the fish or whatever I make, that I bake and make really good for myself. And the rest, this doesn't even have salt on it. I just drank it for pure nutrition and pure clean, everything clean. Like my first, till like 6 o'clock at night, and it's, even if my wife cooks, I'm still eating clean with her. But sometimes when you go out to dinner, that's when I eat a pizza or doing this. But normally during the day, I'm trying to live very clean now. I notice that I'm completely different person if I eat correct. If I eat the vegetables and I do that with the meat, I'm feeling like a maniac. You also, when you get older, you start getting bloated and all that when you eat too much bread and stuff like that. It's such a BS. And as soon as you start switching to vegetables and you do just one, if you have a bloating feeling, just do 1 week. I used to make a big pan of vegetables, all vegetables in there, and potatoes, everything. And I would eat the whole day. I would just eat that. You do that for 1 week, all your bloating is gone. Then you can eat bread here and there. But once you start eating bread 3 times a day again, it will start again. You know what really helped me? Because I tried it for my arm. You see, it's all gone, the lower part, because of the neck surgeries. It's atrophied here. So what they told me is BPC 157. It's a peptide. And what it is officially, it's a gut enzyme. And what they thought in the beginning, because if you had, for instance, you had cancer, they would see that all that BPC was around the cancer. So they thought, it's causing the cancer. We have to watch out for it. But then they realized, no. It's trying to get rid of the cancer. That's what it's doing. It's the gut enzyme. So they figured out that it repairs everything in the body. So now you can get a peptide, which is legal. It's not even on the fighters can use this. And it will make you heal your tendons, everything. It will heal faster. So I start trying that, and I put it right here in the biceps to see if I can reactivate my biceps with the muscles, But it didn't work. But what it did do was I lost my the bloating. I don't have it anymore. And it's got to be the BPC, because that's literally gut enzyme. And those are the enzymes that you start losing when you get older. And that's why you start bloating. So it's a perfect little thing. It's cheap. It's legal.
Where can you get it?
I have an address for that, because peptides online is a very dangerous thing, because a lot of the guys, they just sell you powder, right? Or it comes from China and you have no clue. I have a company, 99.9% pure, 100%. So I'll send you that address. It works really well.
And you drink it with water or something like that?
No. What you do, it's you got to shoot it.
Shoot it?
Yeah, like a little, how you call it, the diabetes needles.
Oh, geez.
You take you just put it in the fat of your body, in your stomach. Or when you have an injury, you do it closest to the injury as possible. That's why I did it in the biceps. But then I realized, I'm just going to do it here.
You have to shoot yourself every day?
Yeah, but it's a little tiny...
Well, I'll stick with fucking yoga.
Actually, you can put it also in your mouth. You pour it in with the needle, so you know exactly how much you take, which is a little tiny bit,
right.
And you put it under your tongue.
Yeah,
you leave it there for 60 seconds.
I can't do no
That's
fucking
good.
needles, Bas Rutten.
Yeah, I have friends like that too.
I go to acupuncture. In fact, I got to make an appointment for tomorrow. I forced myself to go to acupuncture, but... the needles for drugs. In fact, I owe the doctor a blood test and a tetanus shot, and I've been avoiding them like fucking an HIV victim in '85. Remember in '85, you wouldn't talk to people. As soon as they told you they had AIDS, you would
didn't
fucking run the other way.
And then they would sneeze in front of you. You think you
my
were getting
God.
it. If you have an open wound and you're close to them, you know, there was all these crazy stories, right?
Now, you weren't. Where were you in '85 when the whole AIDS scare broke out?
In Holland.
And how bad was it in Holland?
No, we only heard the stories from here in America. You know, that story that they woke up in the morning and then on the mirror was written, "Welcome to the world of AIDS." You know, you would have sex with the prostitute and she would be HIV positive, and then she would write on the mirror in the morning when she would leave, "Welcome to the HIV club" or something. That was this. You don't even heard about that?
No.
Oh, you see, because that was apparently happening in America that they were doing. That was this weird thing that had been heard in Holland. But for the rest in Holland, yeah, I didn't really notice it. You heard it a lot on the radio and people were afraid of it and they thought with blood, it can pass on with blood or rubbing against each other, even with spit, they thought in the beginning, right? Drinking from the same glass, all that stuff. Yeah, people got paranoid, you know, but then you realize, it's not. You know, still, you know, it's logic. It's a natural thing to do. You know, if I don't have to drink from the same bottle from somebody who's very sick, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter if it's AIDS or if he's got a cold. If he's got a cold, I'm not going to drink from the same bottle. You see, because why would you take that risk? Because now you're going to get the cold. So it works pretty much with everything. But it was not as big as a scare. We just heard the crazy horror stories from America. Was in Holland.
Well, once Rock Hudson went public,
yeah, that was
and then
crazy.
people started getting sick and stuff like that. I remember it was like people were fucking scared. Like people were really scared. Like that thing that's going on in Jersey with the kids, like where all the kids died in that hospital. All of a sudden there was like an epidemic, but HIV was out there. But those first couple of years, when I got locked up in '88, there was an HIV unit.
Oh.
And I became friends with one of the guys, and we talked, and he broke it down for me. I asked him. And then after that, I felt safe, and I hung out in the HIV unit for 9 months. I don't have HIV.
Yeah.
So they were right. I hung out in that unit. I used the same utensils they used.
That scare, can you imagine? If I would have done bare-knuckle boxing in that time, people would have been really afraid. Because with bare-knuckle boxing, of course, you're going to get cut, right? So there's going to be blood. CTE-wise, it's safer for you, but cutting, you know, I think people would have freaked out. I think everybody needs to be tested 100%, and still then you're going to freak out, especially at that time when it was at the height that everybody was scared of it.
That fucking, I still can't get over that we're back to, everything makes a full circle.
It does.
We're back to fucking knuckle, hitting each other in the heads with fucking our hands.
How cool is that, though? Think about it. You know, we were talking about hard times. You have to Johnny Hendricks, Brendan Ward. I mean, these guys are the main event. Johnny Hendricks, we all know he's got this crazy big left hand. But I bet you he's not going to throw it full power because he knows, he understands the rules now. If Brendan Ward just leans in, like I said, and he hit the top of the head, he's going to break his hand. If he didn't focus on his right hand, he's going to have a problem. You see, so now you're going to be more strategical. You're going to have they also hit all the meaty parts. They hit the forearms, the shoulders, you know, the body. They focus on that. And the power shots go 40-50% to the head. Because you're going to get cut, but that's it. And by the way, with the cutting, we have plastic surgeons, actually we hired. Instead of normal doctor, we said, no, we're going to pay a little bit more. We have plastic surgeons. So if you get cut, which probably will happen, you go to the back and you have a plastic surgeon there who's going to stitch you up, who's going to make it a nice little cut. And you know as well as I do.
What are the weight classes? Still the same?
Same the same, yes.
155, 170.
Yeah, and I think even with boxing, the boxing weight classes, right? So they have even more weight classes. So that's exactly the same. The tapes, the hand, you have to tape a minimum an inch behind your knuckles. So you cannot have any tape on the knuckles. But strategy-wise, you know, I think it's going to be a whole different ballgame, especially for the MMA fighters. Now also we have some professional boxers on there. So that's cool. Now we got an MMA fighter, actually Julian Lane. He is fighting a pro boxer. So now we can tell, because all the pro boxers all the time say, oh, these MMA guys, we beat them up easy, you know, in boxing. Well, here's your chance. You know, sign up. WBKFF, sign a little note and say, hey, I want to fight on your organization. I want to prove that boxing, that we have better hands than a mixed martial artist. And we team you up with a mixed martial artist on the show.
Yeah, but the mixed martial artist can't use his elbows or his kick.
No, he can't.
So,
no, but still, you know, the thing with the mixed martial artist is that we have we're physically in a better shape. And listen, I'm not taking anything away from. I'm not saying anything. These guys are phenomenal. I mean, can go 12 rounds full. I'm not saying that. It's an unbelievable thing. But once you are used to kicking, and to grappling. And the grappling effect, that is what gets you really tired, because every time when you crunch or when you protect a takedown, you're working your core. Once your core starts pumping up, just like any other muscle in the body, well, guess what's behind your core? Your lungs. And they don't only pump up to the front, but of course they pump also inside. So now your lungs that normally go all the way in, if the core starts pumping, you can't go breathe in all the way anymore because it's getting tight in there, because of the muscles around it are getting tight. So, but once you are used to that as a mixed martial artist, and suddenly, like for instance, if I say if I do Thai pads, that's punching, kicking, elbows, knees, everything, right? Or I do, if I do 7 rounds or 5 minutes of that, or I do boxing, I can do 14 rounds of boxing, 5 minutes. I'll just fly through that. If I'm in the shape that I can do 7 rounds of 5 minutes in Thai boxing with the kicks. That's how much the difference is with the shape. You just get really tight. That's what I always would say with boxers, even when you don't kick. While you're boxing on the back, on a heavy back, suddenly, like every 30 seconds, throw out 10 right kicks. Bang, 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 as hard as you can. That breaks the breathing pattern. You get really tired, and then you continue boxing again. It gets you in a way better shape, because what I realized is I didn't have anybody to train with in Holland. I had a bag. My first year of Pancrase, I pretty much trained on a bag 2 times a day. 12 rounds on the back. That's what I did. 12 rounds for 3 minutes. Well, if you do that for 3-4 months straight, you simply don't get tired anymore. You need to find things that get you tired. For instance, sprawling in between. Every 10 seconds, defense, you sprawl, you get back up and you continue. It breaks the breathing pattern, the interruption. And that's why you're getting tired. Or there's 10 right kicks and 10 left kicks and then continue boxing again. But you got to come up with something, because your body is getting so used to it that you can't really get really tired anymore. So you have to start adding the kicks. And once you do that, you get tired again. But guess what? You get tired, you get used to that. Then you start adding sprawls. And, it's just that evolution. But if you take a guy who prepared himself for a 5-round fight in mixed martial arts and you put him in a boxing event, he can go the entire distance. And don't go tell me now, all these people at home, we're Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor also gasses out in MMA. Right?
He gassed in the 3rd round.
But that's what I'm saying. So yes,
the 3rd round, and there were 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, and you see, he did 8 rounds.
He started to gas, and by 5.
But 8 rounds he did pretty good. 7 rounds against Mayweather. You see, so that's what I'm saying. It's if he would have had a great stamina at that time, he would have gone the distance. I truly believe he would have gone the distance with Mayweather. 10 rounds only, not 12. And that would have been I thought it was already incredible what he did. He had a pretty good boxing match, I thought, when he was boxing against Mayweather. So, but that's the only thing.
Build stamina.
You can. What we do is, like, I have that workout, right? It's the Bas Rutten workout. It's an audio workout. It's really hard. The number 3 workout. It's called the MMA. That's with sprawls. So that is when I go forward. You have a combination, cross hook, cross, defense. You got to sprawl back up. Cross hook, cross, left hook, right straight, left hook, right uppercut, left hook, right, defense. You got to sprawl every time. Sprawl. And that gets you really tired. I had guys coming into my gym. We do 5 rounds of 3 minutes of that as a warm-up with the sprawls. These guys, they cannot even do the 5 rounds. And they will be fighting it 2 or 3 weeks later. And they said, how can you do this? I said, dude, this is just a warm-up. We didn't even start the class. But the thing is, we just start doing it. And once you start doing something, you do it every day, within months, it becomes normal. You can do it. Now, the minute break, we do kettlebell swings. We don't even take a break anymore. There's kettlebell swings in the minute of break, and then we go into the second round. Now we got a 20-minute, 5 rounds of 3 minutes with the minute breaks. That's 19 minutes then, as a warm-up. And we had guys who had to fight 2 weeks later. They could not do the warm-up.
That's a warm-up?
It's a warm-up. And he goes like, what is this? I said, dude, we didn't even start.
What do you do after that? Climb mountains backwards?
No. Well, with the spar,
oh my God.
My concept has always been very simple. I make myself tired in the beginning of the training, and then the whole training, I learn how to deal with my power, with less power, and still using technique, because I tired myself. But once you start doing it, like I said again, for a couple of months, it becomes normal. And then suddenly you have to do something else again to make it even more. Everything you can get used to. It's just putting the work in, as I'm telling people. People, it's always, I can never do that. No, you want to lose 30 or 40 pounds? Yeah. Okay, give yourself half a year. Yeah, it's a long time. Half a year is nothing. In a lifetime, it's a blink and it's gone. But if you have a raise and you want to do it in 2.5 months, now you're really going to force it, and then everything goes down the drain. But the diet you're already talking about, or you cannot eat this, don't tell yourself you cannot. Cannot, I'm 100% with you. Never. Oh, Bas, so you don't drink anymore. No, I will never say that. Because sometimes I drink a glass of wine with it. Because if I don't do that, I'm not going to be a happy camper anymore. No, at least me. Other people might be different, but at least it's me. You get used to everything. Just make it a habit and just keep it on doing it, and you'll be amazed what you can do.
So because I watched some fighters over the year. In fact, Conor's stamina this time impressed me.
It was more, yeah, because there was a lot of grappling going on too.
Yes, he impressed me. This time I thought he would die a lot sooner, but he impressed me this time. But even BJ Penn for years struggled with his stamina. And I thought that it was maybe just a weakness that some people have.
No.
They can't build on their stamina.
No, what it is, 90% of the case, I can never say 100%, but I'm telling you that they control what they're doing in the ring, in the gym. If their coach says, you do 3 more rounds and they don't feel like it, then they're simply not going to do it. Because they're at that statue that the coach is not even going to say anything. You see, and that's the problem. And once you're technically very good and better than everybody else in your gym, you don't get tired because you school these people. What you need to do is bring a few pro boxers in or pro kickboxers who put the pressure on you and watch how suddenly you get tired again because it's territory that you have never been in. The breathing pattern. If you're totally calm and you can breathe, it's good. I could get fighters tired by just fainting because they will stand they start and they get tired. They interrupt the breathing pattern, That's why you get tired. You need guys. I never tapped in class. I mean, I maybe 5 times in the last 20 years I've ever in rolling. So I knew that I was pretty good there. So what I did only Shark Tank exercises. Because otherwise I'm just working schools around. I school them and I don't get tired. So what I would do, 1.5 minutes with him, 1 minute. There was a Shark Tank that I did, 1.5 minutes Oleg Taktarov, 1.5 minute Pedro Hizo, Mark Kerr and Marco Huas. Do those rounds, 6-minute rounds, against a fresh guy every 1.5 minutes. That's a fun Shark Tank. Now you're going to be professional. Trust me, you're going to get tired. But if I do this with white belts, I'm not going to get tired. I school these guys. And that's the problem. You need to bring people in who can beat you, who are better than you. And if you can't get those, then you have to do it like I do. Get yourself tired. Another drill that I did, I would kick 2 minutes a kicking shield as hard as I can. 3 right, 3 left, 3 right, 3 left. It started with a minute because then you're tired. If you do this really hard, extremely hard kicking, you're really tired after a minute. But again, you're doing it over and over again, suddenly it becomes 1.5 minutes. And then you get tired as 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I throw the shield down, I lay on my back, they jump on top, any position they want, and they start attacking. I start rolling. I roll only 2 minutes, back, 2 minutes kicking, full power. Now he's got 2 minutes rest. So every time when I'm working and I'm getting more tired, he's taking a 2-minute break. And now I continue with him again. You see, so I make him stronger and stronger. I make myself weaker and weaker. But that's the way you're going to get in shape. Hill sprints. They go, oh, do it on the hill? Why don't you do it on the treadmill? That's what I used to do. Treadmill, you can't fool a treadmill. You can pace yourself on hill sprints. It's still good. I'm not saying that. But the way I did it, dude, I would go run 11, 12 miles an hour for 10 minutes. That's the warm-up. Then the incline goes all the way up. I go to 9 miles an hour. And I say all the way up when I was training. So that's 15%. Because nowadays you have treadmills that go 30%. So don't do that. But again, if you build it up, you probably can do it. Go slow. 45 seconds on, 30 seconds off. 45 seconds on again, 30 seconds off. That is a killer. That always got me really hard. First 5, 6 rounds, easy. But boy, once you start doing 7, number 8, number 9, dude, you're getting extremely tired because the treadmill keeps going 9 miles an hour. You can't slow down. You can't pace yourself. You got to keep running. And I found a lot of guys do it on 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. For me, I built it up less lactic acid if I would do it at a higher speed. Otherwise, I would do it at 8 too. But somehow 9 was easier for me to do than 8 miles an hour. I don't know why. It's probably because of that. You go faster and you don't build up as much lactic. I have no clue. So, but again, you get used to it.
Do you like the treadmill in contrast to just sprinting 40 yards?
Just sprinting, never just straight. I'm never, like with my knees right now, I have bad knees right now. What I do, treadmill, I put it all the way up and I walk with my legs stretched because I have no cartilage on my kneecaps. So stretched legs is no problem for me. I can kick too. I do these kicking drills. Do it now almost every day. I try to work a pull workout I do, and then I do a kicking drill. The kicking drill is 15 rounds of 1 minute. So what you do is you kick as hard as you can for 1 minute. You take 1 minute off. And then again, 1 minute as hard as you can, and 1 minute off. As 1 minute, after 6-7 rounds, if you don't do this, you cannot do 1 minute anymore. It's really hard for you.
How long does a punching bag last you? I feel like you kick through like a new one.
Well,
every
at the
2
gym,
months.
I just pick the ones out of the gym, so I never know when they go, when they break. But anyway, what I do then, if this is 10 weeks before a fight, for instance, right? So I did a normal workout, and then I'm going to do my half-hour workout, the 1 minute, 1 minute. Now, the 1 minute, 1 minute I do, once I have 15 rounds, the next week, I do 1 minute, 5 seconds. And I take 55 seconds rest. So I increase the work time with 5 seconds and take away 5 seconds of the rest time. And then a week later, I go 5 seconds only more. So slowly but surely, I do 1 minute 5, 1 minute 10, 1 minute 15, 45 seconds rest, 1 minute 20, 40 seconds rest. Until you hit, after like 10 weeks, you're at 1.5 minute rounds, full power with 30 seconds break. And people go like, well, you're going to be in the best shape of your life, trust me. Because how many times do you see a boxer or a kickboxer, they put somebody in the corner and they unload for like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and they're gassing. That's 20 seconds. I'm doing 1.5 minutes, full blast, 15 of those rounds. So it's just training your body to throw out, relax, and you just keep doing that. Eventually, you get used to it like anything else in life, and you can do it.
I learn more from you in 1 hour than fucking every time I'm around you. 1 hour, I get schooled. But that makes sense. They call that something, right? Like the HIT program now?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
High intensity.
High intensity.
I've always
level.
been doing that. I've been doing that.
Yeah, you've been doing that shit since day one.
Yeah, since day one. That was my stamina. You know what? I had really cool. We would go at 6 o'clock in the morning train because then there was nobody in the weightlifting room. We take 50 or 12 exercises. We do a power training, a pushing exercise, a pulling exercise, a conditioning exercise. And then you have 12 stations. And then we go around the 12. And you go 50 seconds, 50 seconds. You give yourself 10 seconds to go to the next exercise. And then you do the exercise. You do the whole round of 12. That's 12 minutes. Then you take a minute break. And then you do that circle you do 3 times. So 36 minutes. That's a very hard workout as well. Because what happens, you start pumping up, especially when you do abs. I challenge you, do 100 abs and go on a treadmill. You're going to die because the abs start pumping up, like I said, and they start also pumping up on the inside. So now your lungs cannot completely inhale anymore. That's why it's, with the O2 trainer, that's why if you do this is proven, by the way, guys. I have this in published medical journal. So this is 100% proven. If you do it 2 times a day, 30 repetitions in the morning and in the evening, if you do that for 6 weeks, after 6 weeks, you can maintain it by doing it once. But if you do that twice a day, you take care of all the lactic acid in your core. You have no clue what that will do for you. That will do so much wonders for you. You can shoot up EPO, you can do whatever. That will never do as much for you as if you take care of the lactic acid in your body, because that makes sure that it doesn't start pumping anymore. So you constantly have your lungs have space in order to breathe.
You're a fucking genius.
Right. Well, ask my wife.
No, you really are. I mean, you just told us about bare-knuckle boxing, Pepsido, whatever, peptides.
Peptides, yeah.
And fucking, I love this. I've loved this since day one. When I saw you on there with somebody, I ordered it right away. And I started the program from day one. And I even walk with it. I made myself walk with it around the park. In the beginning, I had to take it out because I would get dizzy.
Yep.
But then it just got used to it.
Gee,
now,
again,
when I feel that I'm smoking too much, this is what I fucking use to clean out my. And I'll do this in the morning.
We were just talking about it, and I love that because I had the same thing. If I'm having phlegm, right, and I feel my lungs are bad, I do 30 repetitions, and listen, not even 5 minutes later, you cough everything out, right? It's so wild. And all my friends have the same thing.
And what is it called?
O2 Trainer.
The O2 Trainer.
The O2 Trainer, yeah. Go o2trainer.com. There's a video on there, and you literally, for me, it takes less than 3.5 minutes a day. I do 30 repetitions. I have a Facebook page. It's a closed one, but everybody can join, and I will accept them. It's Bas Rutten's O2 Bootcamp. And you will see me since last May. I've been posting videos. I might have missed 10 because I've been traveling internationally or something, but that's it. Every single day I do a time lapse so they don't have to, they can watch for 12 seconds or 15 seconds instead of watching the whole freaking thing for 3.5 minutes. Nobody's going to do it anyway, but then at least they can see that I do it. Because if I do it, hopefully I set the tone that you say, okay, I'm going to do it also. You know, it cured me of my asthma. All my friends cured me of their asthma. Nobody is using an inhaler anymore. One now, you go on the website, you read reviews from people that are writing to me that it's officially, I have no more asthma, my doctor said. You know, those things are for me insane because I made this invention when I was 14 years old. I was a severe asthma patient. I was a week in bed, 8 days in bed, not able to eat because I couldn't breathe. Like 24/7 for 8 days straight. But then after, when I did that, I would resume my track and field when my lungs would be open again. And once I would resume my track and field, I would break my running times. And it drove me nuts. I go, why is that every time after an attack, I'm running better? Until I saw a doctor, I saw a poster from a pair of lungs at the doctor's office. And, you know, as a kid, you think that, and as an adult also, that the infection is in your lungs, right? But it's not. It's the air pipes that go to the lungs. Those are infected. And there was one open air pipe, and next to it was a pipe that was closed like this. And that was literally 14 years old. I looked at it. I go, oh, man, I've been working out my lungs for 8 days. I've been pulling in air through this little tiny hole. I made my inhaling system stronger. And now when suddenly the infection is gone, it's much easier for me to breathe. Oh, I got to come up with something that controls the air intake. And I started experimenting with like these coins from France. They had coins. We would go on vacation to France, coins with little holes in them. And I tried to put them in front of my teeth, you know, so I could only breathe through that thing. But yeah, if you get tired and you breathe in, your mouth opens, well, you're dead, you know, if that thing goes into your lungs. But it always was in my head. Constantly. And then finally, when I came here and I talked, people always told, you know, always people at the parties, they say, hey, I got this invention, I got this invention. And when I would tell my invention, every single person would go, dude, you got to make that. So eventually I said, okay, I'll make it. I started training with the prototype. Now, listen, I carried an inhaler with me everywhere I went. If I would come here without an inhaler and I would sneeze, like really violently, I sneezed 3 times, completely close my lungs. I have to open them up with an inhaler. So if I would travel without an inhaler, I would be doomed. I always needed every fight I had, every single fight I had in my life. In the dressing room, I have to spray my lungs open because it's exercise-induced, they call it. Like a lot of asthma patients have it. If they take a sprint, a 100-meter sprint, they stop, they're good for about a minute, boom, lungs close up. Then they need the inhaler to open it up. I trained with the prototype maybe 2.5, maximum 3 weeks. I've never used my inhaler anymore. I don't carry with me. I don't have them in my bag. Not even as a backup thing in my room. Nothing with me. It's complete freedom because these bulky things, you don't want to have them in your pants off everywhere you go. So I sent it to a friend of mine in Holland who had asthma. And I said, here, try this out. You know, this is crazy. At that time, we used to train with it instead of doing the exercises. And he called me a week later. He says, I want to sell them in Europe. I said, why? He says, my asthma's gone. I got a week. And then I start bringing it to everybody with asthma, and it was freaking curing their asthma. I go, man, we're onto something, you know. So now I'm in talk. I have some really good. The guy who trains Usain Bolt, you know, and he trains 3 other gold medalists from the last Olympics and a silver medalist in boxing. Syatt Macias. He's a very smart guy, scientist, and he wrote a really bad review about my competition's product. And my manager called me and said, did you read the review? I said, about what? About that so-and-so product. And I said, no, but I can tell you that it sucked, right, the review. And he said, how? I said, because they control the air in and out. I said, it's not a good concept. You only have to control the air in because then you can completely exhaling your lungs. You can empty your lungs and entirely fill them back up again. But if you do with resistance, there's always air left in your lungs, right? You cannot completely clean them out. So they all said that I was crazy. And now suddenly they want to partner up with me because guess what? I have the patent. But anyway, I told the guy, my manager, call the guy who wrote the review. If you can find out who that is, I want to send him an O2 trainer. And he tells me, you sure you want to do that? Because what if they're going to write a bad review? I said, they're not. Because I know it cured me from my asthma. All the other people, it's going to be good. Trust me. He finds the guy, calls the guy, says, hey, I'm representing Bas Rutten. Guys answer right away. Oh, O2 trainer, we're already doing that. Boom. Now I had suddenly 12 or 18 published medical journals because they're already using that. And whether it's in 100% proven, because that's what it means. If it's a published medical journal, that means it's 100% proven. I always tell people, if this is clinically tested, don't buy that product. Because if it was clinically proven, it would have said clinically proven. Clinically tested doesn't mean anything. What was the result of the test? That's what you want to ask. But people nowadays, they're so, it's clinically tested. It's got to be good because they read the word clinically and they think it's good. No. If it's clinically tested, it's not a good product. Because if it's clinically tested and it would be proven, it would have said clinically proven. That's where you want to look for. And that's a published medical journal. That's clinically proven. And you can find it. There's published medical journals online. You can literally look in there, and that's where you can find the test.
Well, I use it, so I don't need to read no fucking test.
There you go. You know
what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a believer. I'm like Ozzy Osbourne in 81. I'm a believer.
But you didn't need a bet.
No, fuck that shit. No, this is, I told you, I ordered it when I saw you on Rogan. I didn't even know who you were, really. I know who you were, but I didn't even really think about it. And right away I felt it, and I went up the ladder. I'm up to the last hole. And I sit there at nights in the mornings, and when I'm doing things, I'll pop it in, especially if I hear a lot of wheezing.
Yep.
If I hear a lot of wheezing, which the listeners hear.
Yep.
And I work on that wheezing. It's just, it's 30 years of smoking pot. There's nothing you can do.
Yep.
But this takes that top layer of phlegm out.
Yep.
It really does clean it out, man.
You know what? I had a great thing in Belize, right? You know Belize?
Right,
also,
yeah, we did the video together. That's why.
So what happened was...
I forced myself with this to stop breathing with my shoulders.
Yeah, but
That's all that stuff I did.
I think you put me in contact with her, right?
Yes,
that was in the beginning.
Yes.
So
I told her that you guys had to get together.
So I went over to the Park Fifth Avenue where she has her office, right? I'm coming in there. She says, okay, first thing we're going to do is measure your chest. So I'm breathing out, and then she measured my chest. She says, she's freaking out. I go, what? She says, no, do it again. But that's not possible. She does it again. I breathe in again, and she goes, you're going to have to wait. And she runs out, and she comes back with another doctor. And I go, okay, what's going on? She said, well, if I wouldn't do this, he would never believe it. I said, what's going on? She said, okay, my inhale, normally when somebody breaks a record, so what they do, they measure how much your chest expands, right? Because that's how much air you can pull in, because that's how your lungs open up. By your chest expanding, your lungs don't do anything. There's a vacuum between the lungs and the body. And if you expand this, that's how your lungs go open. The muscles almost don't do anything. It's all your upper body doing it. The more you can expand, the more air you can pull in. She says, normally when somebody breaks the record here, it's like an eighth of an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch. You just broke it over almost 2.5 inches. She says, this is insane. And the only thing that I've been doing different than everybody else was the O2 trainer. So now she, on her breathing classes, she gives everybody an O2 trainer. She says, start breathing with this. So we have a really good relationship now together because she's focusing on the breathing out part. I'm focusing on the breathing in part. But now I know people say, yeah, but you cannot do it both because you just said that. No. You cannot do it simultaneously. You won't find a test that's good. Yeah, maybe a test written by the person who invented that thing will say it's good. But a real test will not say that. But if you switch it up, if you do one day you're inhaling and the next day you do your exhaling, the way she does with the balloon, then you strengthen both muscles, and then that's a really good combination to do. So it works both as long as you don't do it simultaneously. Out with resistance, in with resistance, that's not going to work.
Bas Rutten, from breathing to bare-knuckle beatings.
You're going to watch your show, right?
Heavyweight champ. What date is it?
It's November 9th.
It's a Friday night.
It's a Friday night.
I'll be in New York City doing 2 shows, but I will promise to tape it and give a review of my own on the animalistic ways of...
I would love that.
I love all that shit.
Oh, it's the best, man.
But once I see blood, I start fainting. I fainted at the UFC one time.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
Yes.
Don't keep it for yourself, dude.
I fainted at the UFC when they threw the towel out of the ring. And it was covered with blood. I just went out.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And when BJ Penn beat up Big Daddy Stevenson,
yeah,
that was the most blood ever in a ring.
Oh, with the elbows.
It was at 1 in the morning.
The whole puddle was there on the floor, remember?
And I remember being on the couch and next thing waking up at like 4 in the morning going, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't watch
You should periscope yourself watching and just waking up every few minutes on the...
I should have known. With your little needles. You can even use a needle.
No, right? I don't like needles. I got to look the other way. I got to have an iPod on. I got to listen to music. I got to trust the lady.
Yeah.
I got a little lady down at Bob Hope. She knows exactly how to handle Uncle Joey. They come in with the cart. I look the other way in the window. I gotta see light coming in, and then I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
If I do it in a room with no windows, I get claustrophobic.
Okay.
So I gotta be really careful. Always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure.
Thank
getting
you so
together with
much.
you. Always a pleasure spreading the O2 trainer. I love it. You know, it's helped me dramatically. I mean, I'm not fucking jumping over windows.
Yep.
But I'm doing a lot better than I was.
Yeah,
a
man.
long
I'm
time
so
ago.
happy to hear that.
All right, so November 9th, and then what do you think after that? Is it going to be a monthly card?
No, I think in February they were kind of going for that. We're doing a lot of fun stuff, good stuff as well. It's a very classy show. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is going to be the ring announcer. We got Kenny Rice back with me in the commentating booth. I worked with him for such a long time. He's like my brother. And I said, and he's got that old voice, you know, Jimmy Lennon also. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, he's got that Kenny little voice. What I love about him, I was so excited that he was the voice for my last fight in 2006, and he was the announcer. I go, there's no way, Jimmy Lennon Jr. So I called him, and he said, sure, boss, you know, for you, I would do anything. So they came over. Burt Watson, we have Burt Watson running backstage, all the stuff.
Okay.
Kenny Rice is in there. Yeah, we, you know,
got a
the
good team.
microphone is going to come from the top down, like the old boxing. We got the ring girls in nightgowns. We make it a very classy show, and then we let the boxing speak for itself, you know, because, you know, it will be bloody. But our competition is their last show for what I believe that 14 fights. There was one knockout, and there was one broken hand. And there was some little cuts there. So CTE-wise, yeah, I hope people really don't believe what I'm saying and Google it. Is bare-knuckle boxing safer than boxing? Because then you will find out that pretty much every single test will tell you it's actually safer because you hit the head less hard. So, yeah, do the homework. Come watch the show. $29.95, man. That's
nothing.
Right? That's nothing.
That's nothing.
You know, so if you want to do the high def, yeah, that's going to cost you $50. No, $10 more.
I got glasses. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean.
I got 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Get the $29.95. Get the 3D glasses at the.
As long as the blood doesn't come out of the TV and you pass out.
And you're fine. I love you, brother.
I love
Thank
you
for
too, bud.
taking the time and coming on today. The church is brought to you today by theridgewallet.com. Listen to me. The Ridge is a minimalist front pocket wallet that helps reevaluate your everyday carry. Launched by a father-son team funded by Kickstarter in 2013, the Ridge now resides in the pockets of over 250,000 men and women. The RFID blocking wallet is made by two metal plates, either titanium, carbon fiber, or aluminum, bound together by a durable elastic band. Let me tell you something. This is the coolest thing you'll ever see in your life, and for the first time I used it last week when I traveled. You keep your ID, your two ID cards in there. It fit right in my pocket. It's not, you know, listen, I like having a wallet and the pictures of my daughter, but when you travel, you don't need all that stuff. What, if the plane goes down, you're going to look at the pictures and change your fucking outcome? No, it's not. Anyway, I love this Ridge wallet. The Ridge is a minimal front pocket wallet designed to ditch your bulky wallet. It's slim, and it's got a lifetime guarantee. It's the last wallet you'll ever buy. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum, and over a dozen different styles and colors. What I'm doing is this, all right? Do me a favor. I'm going to get you 10% off with free worldwide shipping by going to ridgewallet.com. That's ridgewallet.com. Use promo code CHURCH, CHURCH. Okay, again, ridgewallet.com/church. The church is also brought to you by my personal favorite, onit.com. These people don't fuck around, okay? Their supplements are tip-top magoo, from the Alpha Brain to the fucking Shroom Tech Immune, which I test every time I fly. Every time I fly, there's a bunch of people, I'm not going to name no countries. They come in there, you can tell they're bringing something. I'm not going to name no countries. I'm not here to insult. I'm just here to spread the word. If you're going to travel, Immune Tech, Shroom Tech Immune is the way to go. You pop 4 of those fucking things and a fucking martini, and not a germ will get in your system. You understand me? I don't recommend the martini. I'm just talking about the fucking 4 fucking Shroom Techs. Alpha Brain, tremendous. You're having problems remembering things. You're having problems focusing. Pop 2 Alpha Brains, you'll be tip-top fucking magoo. You'll remember the lyrics of songs you never even heard before. You understand me? I can't help you out with the weights or the kettlebells, but as far as supplements are concerned, I got you. You understand me? So go to onit.com right now /church and get 10% off. Ready to rock. No drama. No questions asked. You understand me? I want to thank my man. Bas Rutten. I want to thank the Christ Killer. And I want to thank you guys for fucking supporting the church and for watching the special. Don't forget, next Thursday sold out in New York City, but there's still tickets available for Friday and Saturday. And the night before Thanksgiving in Irvine, there's a few tickets left. That's all I got for you motherfuckers, all right? Stay black, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday morning ready to rock. Kick that fucking mule, Lee.